Dear Journal, today as I write this, it's the 2nd of November 2019 and the spooky season has ended. With such a perfect time, who couldn't say they're not obligated to play every horror game and watch every horror movie they own? Well, this year I missed out on running down my library of all of its demons, but I did manage to exercise one. And while my library still shows signs of possession and mystery, it stands one demon less and holds no more fear. After 23 years of being alive and never playing the first original F.E.A.R from start to finish, it was starting to feel like a mark on my true gamer's soul. So many dead bodies later gunned down in the slowness of time by some unknown agent, I realized that I could be a real bastard about sitting down and playing a single game from start to finish. I seemed to stew on the idea of a game for weeks only to finally buy and download it and be stuck in a stalemate of if I'm ready to even play it yet. Will I absorb its message? Will it give me the attention it deserves? Do I even have the time to play this 40-hour long RPG? And will it even be worth my time? And seriously, this nowadays is something that I have to always be aware of. Every single game I have to play, I have to type in HLTB, how long to beat, just to see how long it is, and then I have to go through a slew of Reddit posts just to get myself pumped up to play it. And after all these questions are asked and subsided, I'll finally pick one. And I'm glad I finally got to experience F.E.A.R. It was really a solid shooter with some neat looking weapons and mechanics like the ability to slow down time to eliminate everyone in your path. And this was incredibly helpful as F.E.A.R can be such a bastard at times, leaving you with 4% health and 5 enemies to go before you're set back to the last checkpoint. So advice from me, use the old kill an enemy, quick save, repeat. You should probably maybe be okay. It's been a while since I played a game that just kicked my ass into the ground when it came to advancing segments, and while it was incredibly frustrating to die over and over again, it felt like a good challenge. With enemies that can actually land every shot, you'll be constantly ducking and dodging and running just to stay alive. But is F.E.A.R... oh my god, I'm so sick of writing out F.E.A.R with the goddamn periods and whatnot. Is F.E.A.R the Dark Souls of shooters, or is it due to the fact that probably 75% of the game, I just totally forgot I even had the slow-mo ability, leaving me to die like I was Doctor Strange stuck in a goddamn time loop? And really, I mean, I had to laugh a little bit, because after that, I mean, once I realized this, the game just got a whole lot easier, just blasting through people's fucking faces, and it's these small game mechanics that just seem to kind of blow right past me a lot of the times when playing video games. But shooting sprees and nameless mercs isn't all F.E.A.R has to offer, and personally, I don't really play many games just for their FPS quality to begin with. The story is the name of the game when I sit down upon my throne. Mystic journeys and splendors are what I'm looking for, and F.E.A.R does have something interesting going on, but I honestly felt like I did this game and many others a huge disservice by not playing them with headphones on, like not getting truly engrossed in the thematic show being presented to me. F.E.A.R presents you the point man on your ride into some hospital lab building where an experiment has gone terribly wrong, of course, why not, and the first encounter assault recon team, aka F.E.A.R with those goddamn periods, must be called in to deal with it. Now, what F.E.A.R actually is a secret sect of the government that deals with paranormal phenomenon around the world, like a military Ghostbusters, if you will, or something with a vicious killing experience and a knowledge of heinous crimes of corporate entities. I kind of want to say Sammy Hagar from Observer, but I'm pretty sure that dude's name is Dan. I have no idea what Sammy Hagar actually does. Okay, alright, you can see that the light on my computer is very, very bright, but there is a Sammy Hagar, and he is Samuel Roy Hagar, also known as the Red Rocker, and he's a vocalist for a hardborn band Rose. But through your game, you'll be dealing with a little girl named Alma Wade that will continually haunt you here and there through your playthrough, and another ghost named Paxton Patel that you'll need to find by the end of the game. And while I didn't absorb a ton of the story, as most of it's told through a lot of voicemail messages that I couldn't really hear over enemy engagements, it's also told through some really awesome set pieces that scared the shit out of me a couple times, with Paxton just rolling around an upcoming corner with something cryptic to say each time. And this is where I love the game, is that it has some pretty interesting scenes for its time, taking you into different time periods to witness tortured memories of Alma Wade and her mother as well. That'll slowly bring you down to a pretty eerie truth to the protagonist's life. Roaming around research labs trying to stop the massive massacres that's going on around you as people are thrown around like rag dolls feels pretty dark, and the music and environments make this case almost all the time, as you're almost always pushing your way through some mercenary war zone or being harassed by Alma as she blasts everybody around her into some red paste. But she's pretty much just super ghost girl. Imagine the little girl from the computer systems in Resident Evil 1 along with the other little girl Ghost from Ghost Ship. You got yourself a very vindictive, not very childlike spirit. Alma does serve to be one of the cooler. I don't know how I feel about Alma. She leaves some cool visuals. And I've been having this feeling a lot lately, and it's just, what is it about these older games from Resident Evil 1 to Eternal Darkness, Doom 3-ish, Black, Riddick, and F.E.A.R that just nail their themes and manage to really feel a little more serious than the rest, with new games today trying their damnedest to be edgy and dark with Modern Warfare, the terrorist simulator. Not really, not that it was bad, but I just felt like they were just trying to top that classic fucked up airport mission all those years ago. F.E.A.R almost feels like something along the lines of Ghost in the Shell, with people being intermingled with machines trying to find something more in the ether of humanity. And kind of seems to be quite the running theme in games at the moment, with Outlast and its DLC, The Evil Within, and Observer, and I like to think that it's something we might have to deal with in the far, far away future, or possibly really close future, but let's not talk about that. We all seen how close Observer got to it, and honestly, I believe maybe that's where things would go if the internet was just totally unmanaged. People were just forced into addictions. Overall, F.E.A.R was a great game from a great time and does a good job at engaging combat and environments, even though you'll be looking at a lot of gray and white walls along your journey, but the events that happen in them kept me satisfied and made the constant push feel worth it. All the small set pieces and characters you meet along the way felt unique and shocking, as I didn't really know what to expect from F.E.A.R other than a girl in a red dress and a lot of shooting. But it does have its humor at times, with characters like Norton Mate, a heavy-set computer hacker, just constantly pulling the old do this and then I'll help you out about 4 or 5 times and just leaving you stranded every time. And honestly, I'm getting sick of that shit, alright? So yes, after a while it did feel a little played out, but like I said, enjoyable, giving the sinister story a bit of a nice twist. If you're looking for something simple to play with a decent story, F.E.A.R's got your back with a tale of misery between a mother and a daughter, and an interesting idea of a military sect that we haven't really seen in a lot of games or movies. Sorta, kinda. I did leave myself a little underwhelmed, as I kinda hyped this game up way too much in my brain before actually playing it, and not to say it wasn't fun, but I just gotta realize sometimes that games are just kinda games, and they won't make you a part of some elite paranormal military group, you know, even if you really wanted to. Maybe with 7 to 10 playthroughs, might be qualified. F.E.A.R stands to be a classic among most, and I think I can add this one to the list as well. And I think it deserves at least a 7, being a game a little above all of its shooter brethren, being one of the trendsetters to begin with, and ultimately a pretty good story from what I can remember. You can grab it on GOG. I think it's $10 with all the DLC, which I didn't play. I've heard it's not too great, so I decided not to touch it. But who knows? Sometimes I just get a hankering to play something, and maybe I'll end up playing one of those one day. And if I do, I guess I'll try to write about it. But also with the GOG version, you get the good graces of an offline backup, which is so badass. It's like owning a physical copy, except not. It's still data, but at least you can install it and do all that without any internet. You can give it to a friend, they can borrow it, they can have it, they can give it to their friend, and then they can give it to their friend, and then they can give it to their friend, and then they can upload it to a torrent site, and then the world can have it. Just kidding. Please don't do that. Don't abuse GOG, or we won't get shit like this. So just get it, give it to one single friend, all right, and then maybe he gives it to one friend too. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed F.E.A.R. You know, like I said, it's kind of just like it's just a basic shooter, all right, with tight gameplay. It's got some cool weapons here and there. Nothing super mind-blowing though. The only thing super substantial, I would guess, is the combat. I mean, the AI, which the rumors are true. They do just constantly flank your ass. This game can get very aggravating. Like I said before, for like 75% of the game, I just didn't use the slow-mo option, and that led me to a lot of rage quits, just wondering like what I'm playing on normal. I play video games all this time. It should not be this hard, but it was. But yes, guys, if you did enjoy this, I hope I did a decent job explaining this. Hopefully the video elements of it will help that out a little bit. But thank you so much for watching, and if you do appreciate it, leave a like, maybe subscribe, maybe leave some suggestions for some stuff to play. Don't leave the big guys. All right, I've played the big guys. I know what they are. Give me some awesome niche titles, like indie ones. You know, I just got playing Firewatch. I just got done playing Gris, and I really love those little games to play in between stuff that isn't 8 to 50 hours long. You know, a nice little 4-hour weekend splendor. Once again, I'll see you guys later. It's 3 a.m. Excuse me. I know I look kind of fucked up right now. It's okay. It's all right. We'll be back. We'll be back looking better. Bye. It's really dark, you know. All right. It's quite dark.